shared a preview of your plan to win this war, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. Now, the Ukraine, how is Ukraine going to prevail in this conflict? And I see two key pieces. First, right now we have to strengthen Ukraine's position on the battlefield. And that's why today I'm proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package of security assistance. We have to ensure Ukraine has sufficient capabilities. I mean sufficient capabilities to defend against future Russian aggression. Let me be clear. Russia will not prevail in war. Russia will not prevail. Ukraine will prevail, and we'll continue to stand by you every step of the way.
And it's very important that we share the same vision for Ukraine's security future in the EU and NATO. And I raised with President Biden the plan of victory. Today we are preparing to discuss the details to strengthen the plan, coordinate our positions, use and approach. Our teams will work together to ensure the implementation of our future steps. And today in the morning I've met with both Senate and the House, and thank you for the unwavering bipartisan support, and to all American people. Together we have to win. We will win. Thank you.
Meanwhile, is bleeding FEMA's coffers dry? That worries Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
The hurricane season runs through November 30th. The storm may alter the congressional calculus for disaster relief. While Congress is expected to reload FEMA just before Christmas, it may need to pass a bill as soon as lawmakers return to Washington in mid-November.
It will take some time to tabulate this storm. It's one of the biggest in our history, of course.
Lawmakers representing devastated areas demand action now.
I'm more than willing to come back tomorrow from a legislative standpoint to make certain that we have the funding appropriated and ready to go.
The price tag for Helene could be massive, but some lawmakers believe the storm gives Congress an opportunity to recalibrate priorities.
We give $20 billion a year to FEMA. And unfortunately, they have drained everything dry with all the illegal aliens coming in. We spent $200 billion in Ukraine. We spend $2,500 a month on all illegal aliens.
However, there are different accounts for FEMA's disaster fund and the migrant crisis. DHS says it was, quote, false. The agency diverted hurricane money. The White House accused Republicans of using the storm to divide people before the election.
Let me say a couple things about this. First of all, the idea that FEMA is running out of money is something that the leadership of the Harris administration has said. That especially if there's another disaster, they've said that they might have to go back to the well. And I think a lot of Americans are saying, well, how can we afford to give billions of dollars to illegal immigrants in this country, but we've got to go back to the well to provide disaster relief for...
Not only billions to illegal immigrants, but keep funding a war in Ukraine. They spent billions of dollars in Ukraine on a war that Ukraine can't win, and now spent billions of dollars on these illegal immigrants. And you people are willing to elect Harris for 4 more years? Do you understand by those 4 more years, we will be wiped out as people? Okay?
For our own citizens, that's a disgrace. Now, the media's obsessed with, well, there's one bucket of money over here and there's another bucket of money over here. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that our own government is sending billions of dollars to illegal aliens when there are hardworking Americans. We got to focus on them. Focus on our American citizens who have had their lives destroyed by these terrible storms. That's what Kamala Harris ought to be doing, and it's a damn shame that she's not doing her job.
And then there's this aspect of all of this, Sandra. Listen to this. The Homeland Security Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, is warning that FEMA does not have enough funding to make it through the rest of the hurricane season. But the department has hundreds of millions of dollars designated to support illegal migrants. Chad Pergram is live on Capitol Hill with this. Chad?
John, good afternoon. Here's the conundrum. Republicans point to a man-made disaster like the border crisis having enough money, but the response to a natural disaster like Helene running low on cash. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says FEMA is fine for now.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds, FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
Congress infused FEMA with $20 billion for immediate disaster aid in last week's spending bill, but Helene will drain FEMA's reserves because it was so catastrophic. The hurricane season runs through the end of next month. Congress approved $640 million to help communities deal with an influx of illegal immigration. But money for the border and natural disasters come from different accounts.
We're so quick to forget things like the incidents in Maui or hurricanes here in Florida, or even the recent hurricane with Hurricane Helene that's impacted North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia so much. But we'll focus and prioritize illegal criminal migrants as well as for borders 9,000 miles away.
Some lawmakers want Congress to give communities wrestling with the migrant crisis $3 billion next year. House Speaker Mike Johnson is mindful of more disaster funding this fall.
Congress will have to address it. I mean, this is an appropriate role for the federal government. But to your point, Steve, we have to prioritize federal spending. We have a $35 trillion federal debt. You got to take care of national defense. You have to handle federal emergencies.
Now, expect Congress to reload FEMA with money, then provide additional funds to help with Helene. That's on top of money Congress likely spends on wildfires in Hawaii, Hurricane Beryl in Texas, and a typhoon on Guam. John?